Okay, see. Speaker, microphone. This one. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Good, good.
Hi, Yang. You ready for your presentation? Okay, very good.
Oh, shoot, I have a question.
Yes.
I was looking and I couldn't find the exact instructions for the independent presentation. So do we just find a top company in an industry, or do we have to find the top? Like, can we just find a notable one, or do we have to find like the top
For your individual or for your group?
individual?
For individual,
Or was it like three companies or one? I
yeah,
forgot.
three, top
Uh-huh.
three. Yeah, top three. And if you, I understand sometimes you may not be able to find the exact market share or revenue or,
Uh-huh. So
yeah,
just
you
like
can say
three notable ones or
most notable ones. Yeah, let's put it this way.
okay.
Most notable, if you can find the information about these sales, for example, sales or market share, or the largest player, the largest player, the most notable, most famous, or with highest market share. These are the one you want to talk about.
And
Right.
is the information similar to what we did for the chapter, the case study, like the amount of information?
No, because the chapter, the case, the individual case study, random chapter, is just about the case.
Hmm.
The companies is small, most of us never heard about those companies, right? Small
Oh,
companies, or small something very specific. But this one for your group, for your individual presentation, I need you to focus on an industry. Yeah,
okay.
like yeah, for the industry, and then who are the major players, basically.
Okay, so is there an exact like the I don't know if I missed it, but I didn't see the like assignment instructions on the syllabus.
Let me see. I should have put it. Let me see if I can have it here. Course policy. Yeah, there is one.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, individual presentation, end of chapter discussion, and then individual presentation and group project presentation.
I see the fact that we need to do it, but I don't see the instructions for it.
Oh, that I would say is not exactly the instruction, it's just a description of of the requirements.
Oh, so will
Basically,
we go more into it later or
we
I'm
can
not?
talk about the a little bit now. Yes, you say, well, let's see. One more person coming. Yan's coming. Let's give a couple minutes, right? We can talk about that. Where's the
Sorry, what are we doing right now?
we'll wait for Yan to come, and then
Oh,
I'll talk about a little about we can discuss a little about your individual presentation, and then we start the lecture. Okay?
mhm.
Do you know where Yan is, Justin? Do you by any chance?
No, I'm at home.
No. Okay. Let's a couple minutes. Give me 1 minute. Let me get my water. Okay. Get the tea. Hold on 1 minute. Right back. Okay. Well, where's Yan? Okay, well, we're gonna get started anyway. Channy was talking about. Could you turn on your camera, everyone, please? So I can see you. Great, thank you. Channy was talking about the individual presentation. Okay, it's in the syllabus, but it's a brief description here, right? Basically, you're gonna choose an industry. Of course, it has to be in the creative industry. Okay, you can say I'm gonna go with say the steel making or petroleum, petroleum, the oil industry. Yeah, that's not the creative industry. What are the creative industries? Remember, we talked about this in I think the first or second lecture. What industries are considered creative industry? Give me some example here. Can you?
Uh,
Can you turn on your camera, Justin? I can't see you.
I'm on my phone right now. My computer
Oh,
is not connecting.
okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So give me some examples of industry that belong to creative industry. What would you say? Come on, guys. You know it.
The arts.
The arts, yeah. Performing arts, right? That's a good one. Performing arts, like Shen Yun, right? Creative
Entertainment.
entertainment, yes. Entertainment, movie industries, right? Music industries, right? Software industry is considered, creative industry too. Software and you know, like exhibitions, right? Those are considered creative industry also. And publications, right? And arts, performing arts, and let's see, operas, all those stage performing arts, operas, ballet, symphony orchestras, they're all in creative industry. Okay? And publication, literature, I would say, we talk a whole bunch of them. You could go back to previous chapter slides, you find more, okay? Or to go to the book. Okay? Basically, for your individual presentation, you're gonna identify the industry, okay? And then within the industry, you want to find three companies industry, okay? And these three companies, Jenny was asking, uh, it's best if it's the top three, the most notable, or with the highest market share, or most important. Okay, like say for example, software industry. You have the software. What are the top three software, or let's say notable software in companies you can think of? Do you know of any?
Apple, Google, and Microsoft.
Apple, Google, and Microsoft. Okay, is Google a software industry in software industry?
Maybe, I don't know.
Let's try Microsoft. Thank you. Microsoft is probably no undoubtedly the number one in the world, right? And we're using WebEx. WebEx is thing here, and I'm sure you use Word, right? Use Word, Excel, Access, uh, uh, Microsoft. There are a whole bunch of software. Windows, Windows operating system, they're all by Microsoft. And other software companies there are also other software companies like Oracle, right? I think Oracle is software and Oracle and let's say Salesforce, the Adobe. You heard of Adobe? Adobe Acrobat? Yeah, these are all software industries, right? So if you are to write about the software industry, you pick top three companies. If you can find, if you do the Google search, you probably can find a lot of information, right? I want you to find the biggest one, biggest three in sales or in market share or in reputation. It's just big three, okay? Big three, you tell us, you tell about the whole industry. What is the industry like, right? And what are the players? What do they produce? What do they make? You know, what is like the scale? Scale. When we say scales, it's like the sales, right? Sales figure, sales numbers in like millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, or even billions of dollars, right? How many companies are there? You can talk more about the top three, but you can talk about all companies, all, yeah, how many there are total, and the market share. What are the leaders and the followers in the company, and the marketing characteristic of those companies. The top three you picked, I want to talk about how do they do their marketing. Like if it's like say like say electric car company. What can you think of? You probably think of Tesla, right? Tesla is undoubtedly a leader here, but there are also others, smaller players, right? You talk about them. If it is, let's see what else. Cell phone industry. Cell phone industry. What are the biggest players? We all know Apple, right? Apple is kind of like a software company and also cell phone, other industry communication company. Because Apple does write its own software for use on cell phones and Apple computers. They have their own systems. They don't use they have their own operating systems, operating system, Apple OS. They don't use Windows. Okay? So, and how do they go about their marketing? How do they market their product? Right? So you do your research on that. Okay, that's very individual. Any question on that? You okay? And then I need you to do a group. Now this one, all four of you need to work together. Okay, you may choose. You need to in the for just for one company in the creative industry. This time, just focus on one company. Okay, this could you need to work on getting a strategic marketing plan for the company. Basically, of course, has to be in the creative industry. You can study the company. You do a marketing audit. You know what auditing is? Auditing. Auditing is like is an accounting term. See, like you have company that's a public traded. You know what a public traded company means, right? You know, public traded, like say for example, AT&T is a public traded company. That means the company's stocks, the shares of stocks are traded publicly on New York Stock Exchange, on stock market. You can buy, as an investor, you can buy like 100 shares, 1,000 shares, or million shares of AT&T stocks. So you become of the owners, part of the owners of the company. And why would the company go public? Why do company go public? If you say, I start a company, right? I start a company making something, selling something, right? I'm the boss. I own the company. It's my company. I call the shot, make all decisions. Why would I make the company a public company? Before, it's a private company, right? I own myself. I'm the owner, right? I'm the president. I'm the CEO of the company. I run my own business. I hire a bunch of people, make the product, then sell the product. That's my private owned company. Why would I go public with that?
Get more funding?
Exactly. You're right. And because I can sell the shares in the stock, right? In the partial ownership of the company. To say, Cheney wants to buy a million share, Yang may buy 200,000 shares. Just me want some share. I'll sell my shares to you, so you're gonna own some part of my company, but you pay me for that. That's the stock price of my company, right? You go that you give up your own part of your ownership, but you raise some money. You raise money, you can use money whatever you want. You can expand the company, you can pay your own salary or a bonus, you go on vacation, whatever you want to do. Right? So you raise money by doing that, by going public. Okay. For company, if you go public, you go public, then it's not just my company anymore, right? It used to be my own. Now the four of us, we all each own a share, a certain shares. I may be the major owner. You own most of the stocks, and you guys may own like a small portion, 1% or 2% of company. Okay? And then since you are the owner, I mean, you are also the owner, small share owners. I'm the major ones. If I'm running the company, then what if I misuse your trust or I misuse the fund and use it for personal purposes or other purposes? Then there's a problem because I'm betraying you, right? I'm misusing company money, public money, money owned by the stockholders. And that therefore, for public traded companies, all the companies whose stocks are exchanged on New York Stock Exchange or Nasdaq Exchange, their accounting record has to be audited. That's audition. That's what audit means. Okay, a public CPA company, CPA firm has to look at your book to see, hey, if you're recording everything truthfully, if there's money stolen from the company, or if everything is reflecting your accounts receivable, accounts payable, your profit, your taxes, your liabilities, your assets, those whole things. I'm not talking about more into that. That's part of your accounting class. In business school, you have to take accounting class. I don't think it's offered in VTN yet. So that's auditing. You have a third party auditing your book, accounting book records. Okay. What is a marketing audit? Marketing audit is one that where you actually look at their marketing efforts. Marketing efforts. How does company do their marketing, promotions, advertisings, and research everything. Okay? See, you choose a company, you choose Apple, for example. Okay? How does Apple market the Apple products? You need to study that as a group. That's your group project, right? You study Apple's product. First, you know the product, what kind of product they offer, right? They have iPad, iPhone, iMac, I blah blah blah, whatever you can come up, right? They maybe offer a car in the future, near future, right? And that's the product. What's the pricing strategy? How do they price their items, the product? And what's their promotion strategy? How do they promote that? How do they advertise that? Okay? And then there's a place. Remember the four P's and marketing. You have to have the four P's. How do they go about distributing that? Distributing that. Where do you go? Where can you go to get to buy those Apple products? Okay? Distribution channels. They have their own stores, Apple stores. They also go, I think they're selling their Apple products in Best Buy also, Best Buys, Apple stores. Pretty much that's it. I haven't seen Apple being sold elsewhere, many other places. Okay? So that's their distribution channel. So you can do an audit of their marketing strategy. Talk about all these, right? And then how do they plan their marketing, and how do they perform? How are they doing in comparison with their competitors? And if you do say like iPhone, for example, how is iPhone doing with regard to Samsung, right? Samsung or HTC or other players, other competitors. Yeah, I think I heard that the Tesla, Elon Musk is proposing a new phone called Tesla phone. So things like that, right? So that's your project. Yeah, you present your funding together as group. Any question? We okay? Next week is March 13th. It's your spring break. Actually, this week is my spring break. My school is having a spring break this week. So, and next week is your spring break. We have no class next week, right? And then coming back after that, we have 3 more lectures. And then you can give your individual presentation on April 10th. Okay. There are only 4 of you, so you all 4 can give on that day. And then we have no class on 17th. Then you give your presentation, group presentation on the 24th. Well, if you want, it's up to you guys. If you want to do that on the 17th, you can do that. Then we have no class on the 24th of April. Okay? It's up to you. Okay? We can talk more about this as we go. But the good thing, the first thing is You need to prepare your individual presentation first. That's done individually. And then you need to get together as a group to work on your group project. Basically, you find a company, you audit their current marketing practice, and then you need to come up with your analyze the marketing strategy. And if you find see maybe they're not doing something right, you have better ideas, feel free to propose it. Okay. And that's what this is about. Let's see. Okay. Do we have any other questions, comments? No? Okay, let's get to our lecture today. Let me share my screen with you. And Yang will give her presentation on the case at the end of the chapter. Okay. Okay, let's see. In this chapter 8, let's talk about the product, branding, and pricing. Okay. Remember the 4 Ps? What are the 4 Ps? Product, price, promotion, and place. Right? The 4 Ps. Right? And so we talk about product and price and a little bit of branding. Branding, you can say, is part of your product strategy. Okay. How to do that in creative industry. Okay. First, for companies in the creative industry, you need to establish a product hierarchy, or your product hierarchy. What's a product hierarchy? There's different levels of aggregation of a company's products. Each level can be managed as a separate unit. Okay? Like for example, Shenyun, let me give you an example. Shenyun as an example. Shenyun, it has 8 performing groups, 8 groups, dancing groups, and for a while it has been performing. Stage performance is the only product Shenyun has. Right now, Shenyun has more. There's a Shenyun 作品, there's Shenyun Creations. You heard about that, right? The sales of merchandise, per product, other products, 生运作品, online streaming. That's all different product lines. Okay, so that together they build the 生运 product hierarchy. Okay, within the hierarchy you have the individual product. That's just one product. Okay, the minimum level. That's that's where you base your marketing decisions. And then there's a product line. There's a product line. Right? Let's see. For example, let me think of a good example here, right? Like Microsoft, a software company, right? They have their Microsoft Office line of product. All those software belong to the Office software. You use that in the office, basically to increase your productivity. Use Word to process your written documents. Use Excel to do your calculations. Your Access to do your database, and others to your present PowerPoint. Okay. So that's a product line. The product line made up of a set of products belonging to the same category or targeting the same consumers. That's one line product, office products. Okay. Then there's a product category that consists in the set of products that share the same production process, right? And targeting satisfy the same generic needs or desires of consumers. That's product category. So from individual product, you have product line, and then you have product category. And you compete with other companies. Yeah. And we talk about product life cycle stages. Many products will go through different cycles, different stages in their life cycle. Okay. The product has 4 sequential stages. Introduction, the product is introduced to the market. Growth, the company sales or industry sales grows to be larger and larger. And maturity, eventually the industry sales, reach maturity, not going up anymore. Okay? Then finally decline. Yeah. Some product may never go decline, right? Like, for example, dairy product, milks, right? Milk, cheese product, right? They never go into decline, right? Because as long as they are human, we're gonna eat, right? We're gonna eat, we're gonna consume milk, dairy products, rice, bread, those things like that. They'll never go decline, right? So you're gonna stay there forever, okay, basically. The form and duration of the cycle depend primarily on the hierarchical level of the product the company used as a reference point for measuring sales. Okay. Basically, they're in accordance with the product's life cycle stage. The diffusion of innovation of new product also goes through some stages, right? This is called the diffusion of innovation. Okay, diffusion of innovation. Uh, on this chart shows the diffusion of innovation. Y-axis here is number of adopters, people adopting or using the product. Okay? And then on the x-axis is the time of adoption, how long it takes to adopt. Okay? This by Rogers in 1962. He classified people into 5 different groups. There are the innovators in the beginning of adoption. They're the early adopters, really earliest adopters. As soon as there's a new product, they adopt it, they buy it, they use it, they want to have it. Like got habit. Okay, that's kind of their attitude. Because the innovators, the number is small. Not many people are actually innovators. Then there are the early adopters, right? Early adopters, right? The more of them, as time goes by, the more people are adapting, but they are the early ones. Okay. Then there's the early majority. Even more people start to adopt this product, use product, buy the product. Okay. And then there's a late majority. Yeah. Early majority and late majority, you can see this top, the middle of the bell curve. They make up the most people, right? And then there's always the laggards, people who just they don't care about new product, new innovation. They just stay with the old one, right? And a good example here. Let's see washer and dryers. That's washing machine in the home, washers, dryers. Okay, I still have one that I bought. Let's see, I would say almost 30 years ago, 25 years ago, when I first got my first house, first house, I bought a pair, washing dryers, and it's still working. But sometimes the dryer makes some noise. My wife's not happy with, she wants to get a new one. I said, let's keep using it as long as it works, right? It's just a little noisy, so the dryer. Right? So on that home appliance washing dryer, I'm definitely the laggards. I know there are new products, new Samsung product, LG Korean, washing dryer, very nice, sleeky, and a lot of functions. But I don't feel I need it. It's just okay. It's just wash my clothes, right? So as long as my current one works, I'm okay with that. The laggard. Right? For me, for example, on iPhone, cell phones, I'm not a laggard. I think I'm either the early majority. I think I'm not early majority. I've never been an innovator. For me, I don't think when the product's brand new, just emerge in the market, I'm not the one to go out and try it. And like also like electric cars, for example, electric cars, fully electric cars, right? And there are many people who are buying them now. I think those people are definitely they passed the innovator stage. Is probably the early adopters or early majority. I would say somewhere around early adopters, early majority people are buying those electric cars. For me, I'm not gonna buy one, not in next 3, 5 years. My two cars working just fine. So that definitely I'm gonna be late. I'll probably belong to late majority. You know, after 3, 4 years, when I have too much mileage on this two cars, I may consider whenever I have to replace my cars, I may consider that electric cars. Okay. All right, that's the diffusion of innovation. Okay. And innovators or pioneers, they have, as I said here, innovators or pioneers. Innovators, they are also pioneers. They have distinctive trait. They have low aversion to risk. Low aversion to risk. Okay, they won't take risk. They tend to be non-conformists. The non-conformists. They don't need reassurance from the fact that the other consumers are making the same product choices. They want to do it on their own. They have strong desire for social distinction. They want to show that they are different. They're the innovators. Yeah. They have close connections with the source of innovation, right? And they pay attention to that, right? And the marked interest in new trend in general. These are the early adopters. No, not sorry, not early adopters. Innovators and pioneers, truly pioneers. Okay? And then there's the early adopters. These people are more numerous. Here, the second stage here, right? Second part here. They are numerous than the previous group, and they share many of the same traits as the innovators. Generally speaking, though, the early adopters have a greater aversion to risk, especially social risk. So it's not that they are afraid of they have concerns about social risk. Okay? They have more intense social connections with other customers. They are often opinion leaders. Opinion leaders. Their opinions. They may say, "Hey," they may speak publicly say, "Hey, let's buy some electric cars." Right? Many people will follow their opinions. They're opinion leaders. Right? There are people who set in motion and much more powerful imitative dynamic, the bandwagon effect. Some people buy things because of bandwagon effect. Because so many people are buying, I'm going to buy it as well. Okay, that's early adopters. Then there's a majority, early majority and late majority. Yeah, the most people. Both this early majority and late majority, they have varying level of intensity. They are averse to risk. They don't want to take risk. I'm probably like that. I'm definitely in that category as far as electric car is concerned. Okay, they are averse to risk and as such not particularly taken by innovations. Okay, we don't care too much about innovations. They tend to be conformists, right? Conformists. They need to see that other people have already adopted products before they do the same. So for me, I want to make sure, I want to see others, many others have driven electric cars and they're okay, they're safe, they have no issues, and there are enough charging stations. Okay? My only biggest concern is that there are not enough charging stations to recharge, but there are enough gas stations for my gasoline cars. And then laggards that represent the minority of the market, not many people like that. The numbering about the same as innovators and early adopters, but put together. Okay, these consumers are very resistant to change. Resistant to change. Okay? Most part, they are not opinion leaders and very strongly tied to tradition and habit. It's a laggard. And also there are two other types. One is called the blockbusters product. Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster movie, there's the blockbuster movie store, right? Blockbuster, what are things like blockbuster? It's kind of like the sales will go up, will peak right away, right? Good, very quickly, right? Go to its highest point in sales, and then suddenly they will just drop dead as time goes by. They are called blockbusters. Come sharply up, up, and go. And there are also connoisseur products, right? Connoisseur product that kind of like they go up and then just stay there and die out, after a long, long period of time. Okay, that's connoisseur product. Also, product categories. Products are uh, organized companies or organizations want to make their product different, right? They want to have differentiating attributes, make the product, different from others, so as to gain a market share, right? In the beginning, they may have non-differentiating attributes. All the makers, they all have the same features, same attributes, right? And then they try to add something to it, right? Make it better, faster, cheaper, more functions. Yeah? They are adding differentiating attributes of the current value proposition, right? And then they keep adding more and more, then into a future product. From future product, they want to get more into different ways of competitive advantage there. Mm. Producing innovations in coming up with new product, these are the 5 stages of companies' new product development. When they develop new product, okay, a new product launch is end result of a process that starts with an idea. You always have to have a product idea first, right? Then the idea goes through a series of stages to be transformed into a product. Takes a long time to get into a product. You guys all eat at McDonald's, right? McDonald's restaurant. I think I just had a combo meal last Thursday. And you notice that from time to time, McDonald's restaurant they add new product, new new menu item. Yeah. In fact, they receive hundreds of thousands. Can you imagine for company, restaurant chain, McDonald's? They receive thousands, hundreds of thousands of new product ideas from the general public. People are writing and telling McDonald's, hey, please add this thing to your menu, or please add this drink to your menu, a new variety of French fries, whatever, tons of ideas they're come pouring in. But McDonald's, they may adopt some or they may not adopt any. Okay, they have their own group of people or scientists to develop a new product. Okay, so you start out with the market opportunities. What do people want? And you identify market opportunities. You generate ideas and developing concepts, product concepts. Okay, generate ideas. Okay? And then you develop the product. You develop the product. Then you design strategies and marketing programs for the product. And then you formally launch the product. Launch the product. You may want to test market it again and again before you put that thing as a permanent product on the menu. Have you tried the McRib sandwich? McRib from McDonald's? Anyone? No? Never heard about it? Okay. You go to McDonald's, you may not see it. And it's actually a new product from McDonald's called McRib sandwich. And they're still testing it. Looks like they're still testing it. Yeah. Somewhere, sometime they put that on the menu. You test that for a little while, and then they take it off. So still for now, it seems to me, as of now, they're still testing this new product called McRib sandwich. I like it actually. I think it's a good idea. I don't know why it's not formally permanently on the menu. Okay? There must be a reason for that. Okay? New product development, right? In new product development, the marketing has two roles, two roles here. One is informational, one is decisional. Okay, what's the informational role of marketing in developing new product? Uh, Informational means representing the viewpoint of customers. What's the customer's viewpoint? What's their expectations? What's their attitude? What's their perceptions? And what's their preferences, right? During the various stages of process by generating market information. Okay, that's what marketing is do, right? Get information about the viewpoint of customers. And also, once the product is designed, invented, designed, developed, and you need to make a series of decisions, decisional, regarding the typical strategies and technical marketing decisions pertaining to product launch of the product. And you have a new product, right? You have an idea to a product. Now you want to market it, right? And how do you target it? Who's your target market? Right? Who will be the people who are going to buy your product? Yeah? You need to find that out. What's your positioning strategy? Can you make serious decisions about your positioning strategy? What's the positioning? Remember positioning? We talked about positioning. Positioning is a perception of your product in the mind of consumers. You know, what do you want the consumers to have about, in their mind about your product, about perception of your product? What's your communication strategy? How do you want to advertise your product? How do you advertise them? And how do you distribute them? Through what channel distribution? What kind of retail outlet, or the retail channels do you want to promote your product or distribute your product? Okay, these are things you need to do. Okay. And as to marketing's informational roles, bring your customer viewpoint to the table. Right? With the consumer markets for creative products, this can be done by running tests and get feedbacks in terms of consumers' perceptions. Right? You do your test, you collect the information, know their perceptions, know their preferences, and know their behaviors. Okay? You can run a whole bunch of tests, right? One is concept test. With a concept test, you test the new product concept. Is it viable or not? Is it possible? Is it going to be a hit or is it going to be a failure? And you test market, you test the concept. And then you do a product test. You have the product developed, right? And you test the product, see if it's acceptable or liked by consumers or not, right? They like it or dislike it, right? And then you have a product. Once you have the product test done, the product features, functions, everything ready, launch product, right? You need to test market it, do a market test to see they actually sell. Will the product be sold? Will there be enough people buying the product? Okay? That's what you do in marketing. Okay? Also, you need to manage the product through the product's life cycle stages. Remember, we talked about product life cycle, right? Product life cycle stage, right? Once a new product reached maturity, remember from introduction, growth to maturity, right? Once it reached maturity, it's time for you to set up strategy for the future. What do you want to do with it? Okay? The product may, once it reaches maturity, it may go down, it may stay there forever. Okay? The evidence of a slump in following an initial peak in sales suggests that the organization finds itself facing two strategic alternatives: to go along with the drop in sales and the decline of product, or trigger the saddle and push a new sales growth. So there are two things you can do, right? One is called planned obsolescence. Planned obsolescence. you prepare for the obsolescence of your product. You know this product is gonna die out, and it'll be gone forever, right? You need to plan for that. Second, you need to revitalize that, your revitalization of your product. Okay, that's the two things you need to manage in the life cycle, right? What is planned obsolescence? Yeah, this strategy you actually plan for the drop in the sales by the time of the product launch. You launch product, you anticipate, you plan for the sales drop, right? In anticipation of a relaunch in other markets. You may be in this market, there's a decline in sales. You may have to relaunch it in another market, right? And this gives rise to multiple life cycles that characterize numerous creative products. Many shows are like that. Many shows, performance shows, creative product like that. They found that the sales is going down in decline in this market, they can move to a new market, go to another market. Okay? With the planned obsolescence, the product stays on the market, supported by communication and distribution activities until it hits sales targets and generates financial returns. When this happens, communication investments are reduced or stopped altogether. You may have to stop it. And the product is slowly taken out of circulation and sales fall to zero. You're not selling that anymore. Okay? That's planned obsolescence. Or you can go with the product revitalization. Revitalize, right? Revitalize product. The goal here is to spur new growth stages within the same market. And you have to repackage it, redesign, improve it to make it newer again. Okay? So when there is a saddle after the first sales peak, and when the market reaches maturity, definitely, okay? And your company can try to modify the product so it becomes attractive to the market once again. Okay? In the fashion market, in the fashion, new clothing, new design fashion market, many times they get new fashion. That's actually revitalization of some old fashion from maybe 30, 20 years ago. So in the fashion industry, you see this stuff coming back again. Okay? There are various options on the table here, but all of them center on relaunching the product and triggering new sales growth. Right? You want to relaunch the product, have new sales growth, right? And when you want to improve your product, you may do a versioning, new version, newer version, higher version, better version product. You may have to use bundling or unbundling. And then you can bundle that with other products, similar products, or you may unbundle, separate from each other and go on like individually. This product revitalization strategy. Okay? And also you may have to eliminate some product. Sometimes it's time to go, it's time to go. You eliminate product. When the product starts to decline, the last resort is to eliminate it entirely from the production process and the market. Yeah. This is the extreme scenario you normally implement for one of two reasons. One is the market reasons. There are substitute products. There are products to substitute that satisfy customers' expectations that are so far superior to your product that there's no way for you to catch up. Okay. The second is financial. If the losses on the products are such, the sales are no longer sustainable, you cannot make money, you let go. Okay? That happens all the time. All the time. This is the example of a financial assessment to see if it is time for you to eliminate a product. Okay, look at the sales revenue, how much in sales you can generate. Like per unit is $100, right? You have 10,000 units, so that's $1 million in sales, right? This is the cost of goods sold. the cost of goods sold is 300,000. Your gross margin, revenue minus cost of goods sold is what we call the gross margin. That's accounting term. It's 700,000, right? But 700,000 is not your net profit. Yeah, you have to take out other variable costs like sales, marketing, etc. Right? That's 200,000. And then 700 minus 200,000, you get 500,000. That's your margin. Okay? But then there's a direct fixed expenses, office, rent, utilities, salaries. Take out 100,000 there. Allocation of all overheads, another 50,000, and then your operating earnings is 350,000. Okay. And then if this number goes down and down, eventually it becomes not profitable, then you can assess it financially and know that it's probably time to eliminate the product. Okay? That's the financial perspective. Okay? Also, the consumer participation in creative products, affects how you can conduct your marketing. Okay? The higher quality the participation experience, the higher quality the idea that will emerge. Higher quality experience, higher quality ideas will emerge. Right? The four components to the quality of creative experience, like a show. Right? What are the components of that, of the show? It was a Shen Yun show, whatever, a Broadway show, or a ballet, or dancing, or symphony, right? What are the components of a high quality experience? High quality experience, a quality experience of experience has to have competence, the satisfaction driving from the ability to complete the creative task, and has to be autonomy, the pleasure from the freedom to choose process and method for performing the task, the pleasure of the task. The perception is stimulating, challenging, and engrossing. Okay? And sense of community, willingness to exchange information, give feedbacks, accept criticism from other participants in the community of co-creation. Yes, and the community, people start to talk about that, share about that. Okay, it means give rise to higher quality in your creative experience. And also, as managers, marketing manager, you need to manage your product portfolio. The product portfolio, a group assortment of product, right? Is also known called product mix. Product mix or product assortment or range. Okay. The decisions regarding the product portfolio basically ties into three dimensions of the portfolio, right? Your whole assortment of product. The breadth, the total number of lines of product lines, the depth, that within each line, the number of products in the line, and the length of product, the length of your portfolio, the total number of products offered by the company. Okay. You can see the like Shen Yun, for example, right? And the total number of lines offered by Shen Yun, the breadth used to traditionally just performance, now it has Shen Yun creation, Shen Yun products, Shen Yun dropping, Shen Yun streaming, line streaming, right? The depths, within, let's say, Shen Yun products, Shen Yun 小商品, merchandise, right? There are more and more products, being added, right? The lens is total number of products is growing as well. You've seen that. Okay. Also, how do you assess your product portfolio equilibrium, right? What's a good point to maintain, right? The effective tool is represented by a matrix that categorizes products based on two dimensions, okay? Attractiveness of the market and the position of the company in the market, right? Attractiveness of the market and your market position. Attractiveness indicates that your product can potentially offer returns in terms of sales, financials, reputation, and image. And position the product in the market relates to your capacity of the company to take in a portion of those returns, like market share, profitability, and reputation. Okay? This is the how you can do manage your product portfolio. Okay? Look at the market attractiveness and market position. Okay? Total market attractiveness and your position. Okay? Market attractiveness is represented by potential sales you can achieve, right? Your current market size, volume, and values, life cycle stages, that's your growth of the market, size of potential market, right? Number of competitors, customer loyalty to brand, switching costs, so you can switching to another brand, functional competence of competitors, reputation of competitors, existence and market power of product substitute. Is there substitute available? Product market power and suppliers, right? Market power of distributors, market power of customers, right? And what kind of financial return can they expect? Products, production, investments, distribution, commercial investment, and marketing investment. Okay? These show the attractiveness of the market. And then what's your position in that? What's your current position? Right? Your current sales, your market share of the market, your growth rate or turnover, okay? Your variation in share over time. Is your market share increasing or decreasing? You're shrinking or expanding, right? Your penetration, your weighted coverage, your market power with respect to customers or with respect to distributors, okay? And your strengths and weaknesses compared to your competitors. Okay? How do you compare with your competitors? In portfolio management, the marketers use these terminologies to describe the situation. Okay, if the market attractiveness is high and your market position is low, we call it absorbers. Okay, it's very highly attractive market. Other guys are doing well, but you're not doing well, right? That's the absorber, called absorbers, and they actually it's not good position to have, right? And if your market position is weak and the market attractiveness is also low, meaning there's not much market there, right? Market potential there, and you're not doing so well, right? That's called the indefinites, indefinites, right? Not much effort needs to be paid here. Okay. If your market position is strong, but market attractiveness is low, we call that the contributors. It contribute to your bottom line and your profit, but it's not your strong point, right? Because it's not market is not that attractive, right? Probably won't last for too long. And then if your market position is strong and market attractiveness is high, there's huge potentials there. You're doing really well, right? That's where we call that strategics. That's where you need to strive, maintain to keep your market, keep your potential, keep your profit. Okay? So it's product portfolio management. Let's talk about next. Let's talk about branding, brand management. Your brand name. I'm sure you heard about a lot of brand, right? Name brand. Right? You may buy some name brand product, clothing, bags, perfumes, cars, things like that, right? What is a brand? What's a brand? Brand. Brand is a name, a symbol, or sign that distinguishes the product of a company or institution from all others. That's your brand. Okay. Apple is a brand. Okay. Tesla is a brand. McDonald's is a brand. Okay. We think of Tesla, we think of the T-shaped symbol. Okay. We think of McDonald's, we think of the double arched golden arches. Okay. The brand constitutes an intangible attribute of the product and the value proposition. Remember, the brand itself is intangible, right? So it can create value not in the way it performs, but through its capacity to transfer meaning. Right? You see a brand name, say Toyota, right? The name itself does not create too much, does not create value, but it denotes something else. What do you think of Toyota? What do people think of Toyota brand of cars? We think of it as something cheap. No, I'm sorry, not cheap. Not too expensive, middle class, affordable, and also high quality, good performer. Right? That's the brand. Okay? In branding and brand management and marketing, you manage your brands, right? You want to increase brand awareness and you want to build brand image. And what is brand awareness? It's the extent to which customers are aware of your brand's existence, and how much and what exactly they know about it. How well people know about your brand, right? That's brand awareness. A brand image is the associations customers attribute to the brand. Their opinions, which come from a first-hand experience or word of mouth. Okay, what's their image? What's your image in the mind of consumers? Brand image. Okay? Brand can have many roles, right? Have many roles, right? You have a brand name, brand image, or brand identity. It can have this identifying role, right? If a brand is widely recognized, it means that the customers have memorized it in their evoked sets. What the evoked set? Let's see. I want something. I want to buy some donuts. Right? You like it? Don't like donuts? Yeah, I like donuts. Good. Not so much. Okay. You think of donuts. What comes to mind? I don't know what you have there in New York. Here in the South, two brands of donuts come to my mind: Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme. Eh? You probably have Dunkin' Donuts. Do you have Krispy Kreme over there too? In New York? Yeah. Okay. These are two brands, right? So when I think of sweets or something like, I think of the two brands. That's my evoked set. Evoked set. And one donuts, I thought, I come up, two brands pop up, two brand names pop up, Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme. That's what the marketer wants, right? Marketer wants their brand name to appear in your evoked set as soon as you have some desire for the product. Okay, that's identifying role. Okay, there's an evaluative role. The brand serves as a quality crew, making it easier for compare alternative and make choices. Okay? As a Toyota, for example, another one. Toyota has this evaluative role that has a quality crew. I mean, right? Meaning that as soon as you think of Toyota cars, it's a quality, dependable car. Okay? There is also the communicative role, right? Brands that people are familiar with can be topics of conversation, serving as links with the social networks. People talk about that, right? Talk about their brands, right? Sometimes we even use the brand name as our ordinary everyday words. And for example, if you want to ship something, for example, see I have this document. I have both document. I need to send to you. How do you send? What would you say when you want to send document over to somebody? Have you heard people saying, "I'm gonna FedEx this to you tomorrow"? Have you heard about that? FedEx. Like FedEx, instead of saying, I'm going to send this to you, or I'm going to mail this to you, people say, I'm going to FedEx to you. FedEx or Federal Express is a company, a delivery company. They made the FedEx, so famous, so well known that people actually use FedEx to mean, delivery or delivering or sending something using FedEx. Yeah, that's a communicative role. So they have this identity there, right? And also Xerox, Xerox, the company Xerox. The company is so well known for their copiers. The people say when you copy something, they say, let's Xerox it. And Xerox it. People use that. Okay. Brand identity. What is the brand identity? I'm sorry, brand equity. Sorry, equity, brand equity. Okay. Brand equity is the fruit of customers' knowledge of the brand because customers have the knowledge about the brand, right? And that gives value to the brand. It's fruit of that knowledge, right? The greater the knowledge or the awareness, the more positive the perception of the brand they have, or positive image they have, the greater the equity. Right? Certain brands have big, have a larger equity, higher amount of equity. Some have less equity or fewer equity. Okay? What does it mean to have a strong brand equity? Or sometimes we say that this brand has strong equity, right? Lots of values, right? What does it mean? You have strong equity, yeah, a large equity. Okay? That means, market acceptance of the new product. Consumers like your product, love your product, receive your product. Okay. And it also means you can charge a premium price because of the equity you have, or a prestige, or the brand name you have, brand awareness you have, you enjoy. You can actually charge a premium price, higher price, make more money. Right? And there is cross-selling initiatives. You can sell the product, because it's well known, has huge equity. You can sell it together with others, right? It also means customer loyalty. Customers are loyal to your brand. They come back to buy your brand again and again, right? And also means brand extension strategies. You can extend your brand into other things, other related products, with strong equity. Okay? Brand equity, the critical preliminary step to create a new brand is to clearly define the brand identity. And now let's talk about identity. Okay? It refers to the ultimate purpose that the brand serves for the organization. Okay? And you need to pinpoint a clear identity, enable your company to identify the brand elements it wants to show, and also identify the associations it wants to elicit in the perception of its customers. Okay? That's a brand identity. Okay? What makes up the brand elements that create your identity? Okay? Brand elements include a variety of signs that can have unique and distinctive association with the brand. Okay? Let's say, what's in the brand, right? The branding elements, brand elements. First is a brand name, right? You have your brand name. McDonald's is the brand name, right? Lexus, the brand name. Mercedes-Benz, the brand name, right? Then you can have the logos and symbols, right? We all remember, we can all recognize some symbols, logos, symbols, right? And then they may have a jingle together with it. Some companies, some brands have jingles. When they run their advertisement, they play this jingle, fixed jingle, right? And they also has this celebrity endorsers as part of your brand element. Sometimes we know very well which celebrity is endorsing which product, and packages is part of your brand elements. slogan in advertisement. Nowadays, even URL is one. It's the element of your brand, right? Your brand elements, right? Brand elements should have the following properties. And if you do well, you can have following elements, right? Brand elements, brand names, right? Memorizability. A good brand name, people can memorize it. Can memorize it, recognize it easily, right? It's conveyor of meaning. It means something. It means something to consumers. High aesthetic quality. Looks pretty. Yeah, look pretty is very important, right? Adaptability, okay? And defendability. Okay? Yeah, you can defend yourself, right? You can adapt to certain other situations. Yeah, that's what the good brand element should have. Okay? Brand association, brand images. Brand image is made up of a set of associations that the customers attribute to a given brand, right? Brand association are the result of interpretation and evaluation that customers make based on information on the brand and on their personal experiences. Okay? Building image basically means building positioning. Okay? Building image. You have your brand identity. Okay? You have your brand positioning strategies. Well, what do you want the consumer to think of your brand? Okay? And how do you want to build your image? Okay? That so it goes from your identity, have a brand, have your own identity, right? You have your own positioning strategy, then you create a brand image, and hopefully it's a good image. Okay? So what kind of brand associations can you have? Okay? There are the primary associations and then secondary associations. Okay? Brands first primary associations. Right? Your brand can have certain attributes associated with it, certain benefits associated with it, values, personalities. You know, brands have personalities, and you have certain targeted customers associated with you, and you can have usage occasions, and product categories and competitors. That's your primary association. There are also secondary associations, your distribution channels that your brands can go through. The country of origin effect. You know what the country of origin effect is? Yeah. When you think of, let's see, the country of Germany, what do you think of? What kind of impression does it give you? A product from Germany. What do you think?
Beer.
Beer. Beer, that's a good one. That's product category. What else?
Good quality.
Good quality. Yeah. Do you think of engineering? German engineering? Right? So if we think of a German product, good quality, right? Maybe beer, good engineering, good precision, machinery, that's what we think of, right? If you are a company in the machine industry, for example, from Germany, you're going to enjoy that, country of origin effect. Okay? What about the country of Italy? What do you think of that? Italy? Have you been to Italy, anyone? No? Uh, Late summer, I'm going to take my parents to Italy, or we're going to go on a trip, right? To Rome and then to some other cities in Italy. When you think of Italy, most people would think of probably design and fashion product, design product, right? So if you're in the fashion industry, design industry, you can benefit from that country of origin effect, okay? So that's brand associations, the type of associations, primary associations, right? And the secondary associations, okay? Managing your brand over time. As time goes by, your product may go up, right? And then may slow down. Okay, when in the initial stage, that's you build your brand positionings of your brand. Okay, make your brand appearing as something important in the mind of consumers. Okay, and then as your sales go up over time, you reinforce the image, right? And reinforce your image as being a reputable, as economical, or as valuable, product in the mind of consumers. Okay? After certain more time, as time goes by further, you may see your sales, reaching a plateau right here, or it's not good growing anymore, right? That's when you need to think about your revitalization strategy to revitalize your brand, to make it grow up again. Okay, that's how you go to manage your brand over time. Okay, so reinforcing your brand image means consolidating the brand association in the perception of customers. To do this, you can either reinvigorate the associations, you renew brand associations, or revitalize brand elements. That's what we can do. Okay? So the managing revitalizing the brand, how do you revitalize your brand? You can increase the penetration among current customers. Okay? You read deeper into current customer base, or expand the customer base, make more people uh, be, uh, becoming part of your customer base. Okay? When you want to increase penetration among current customers, you increase the purchase quantities, you can increase purchase frequencies, right? Purchase frequencies, therefore to increase their penetration. Right? When you try to expand the customer base, okay, you can reposition your brand, you can breaking into new segments, or you can have a brand extension. Extend your brand. Okay? Managing your brand portfolio. How do you manage your brand portfolio? The two key objectives of managing a brand portfolio. Okay? Maximizing the effectiveness or minimizing inefficiency. That's all you can do. Okay? Read that. The role of individual brands. Okay? Should every brand plays a part in your company's portfolio. Okay? You may have different brands. A role that varies primarily in light of specific objectives set for that brand. Okay? So from this perspective, it's possible to differentiate between brands that are strategic. There are brands that are strategic. These represent the future of the portfolio in terms of target size, market size, growth rate, and awareness. And there are the cash cows. Okay, the cash cows is generate financial resource for the entire portfolio. Yeah, they're just getting you the money coming in. There are the image enhancers. Yeah, these brands elevate the image of the entire portfolio or the company. Right? The image enhancers. Okay? And there are the flankers. Alongside the rest of the portfolio, these brands close off the market to competitors. Okay? They're not cash cows, they're not image enhancers, but they're flankers. Okay? And they're the entry level. This brand allow access to the portfolio because they are more economical, the cheaper ones. Like for example, you heard of a company called Procter& and Gamble? You know Procter& and Gamble, right? You know the detergents. Do you guys buy or involved in buying detergent for your home, for your family? And you buy detergent, right? What brand of detergents do you use? Washing laundry detergent do you use? You know or remember? You know any? You never do your laundry? Your mom does that all the time for you?
The Tide Pods.
Here you go. Yeah, Tide. Right? Tide is actually the cash cow for Procter& and Gamble. because it's the highest market share and make a lot of money, right? And they're also the image enhancers for the Procter and Gamble, right? But there are also other brands of Procter and Gamble. There's one called the Cheers. Have you heard about Cheers? Yeah, never heard about Cheers? Yeah. Cheers is also a brand of detergent from Procter and Gamble, right? They are actually used to close off. It can be considered a flankers, close off the market to competitors because it covers the market segment where people want to have use cold water to wash their clothes. With something that clothes is very delicate, they want to use cold water. And which detergent works better in cold water? Cheers. Okay. And then there's an entry level, some cheaper brand that the people are most people, everyone can afford to buy. Okay. Individual brands. The relationship among brands, right, among brand, right? You want to reach efficiency. You want this just one single brand, right? Because branded house, right? And you want the effectiveness. You want to have many brands, right? You can reach. Yeah, you can have a house of brands, right? To reach that. Also, let's talk about a little bit about pricing. Price, right? What is price? Right? Price has impact on both your revenues and the costs. Revenues and the cost, right? And also price conveys product quality, right? Normally in this country, in Western culture, a higher quality, product demands higher price, or higher price oftentimes denotes higher quality. Okay. Also, price allow customers to compare alternative value propositions. Okay. People can look at that, choose their own that the best fits their budget. Okay. Price is a variable of positioning, right? If you look at the price level, okay, you set your price, towards higher, or you can use price to to just to meet your cost or sales goals. Okay? The different terminology for price, right? The price, from standpoint of the organization, there's a list price. Okay, that's the official sales price. It does not always coincide with what the customers actually pays. That okay. So the price equals the list price that you charge, official sales price, but customers often get discounts or allowances, right? And so that can reduce the price they pay. But sometimes you put down extra fees that increase the price they pay. Okay. So that's price. I'm gonna let you read that. And the also price, demand. There's a price demand relationship. That's part of the things you should have learned, or you probably I don't know if you have your economics class, macroeconomics class, or macroeconomic class. In economics class, you talk about demand curves, right? Price demand curve relationships. Price has everything to do with demand, or demand affects price. Okay? The demand curve represents the maximum quantity that customers purchase for every product price level. Okay? And the shape of the demand curve indicates the number of units sold. The slope shows how sensitive consumers are to price variations, and the sign of the curve relationship between demand and price. It could be either positive or negative. I'll show you some examples here. Okay, like this is demand curve here, right? This is total revenue you can get. This is the quantity sold. How many sold, right? As the more quantity sold, okay, the total revenue goes up, right? Goes up, right? And then after a large number of quantities sold, the demand is getting lower and lower, and smaller and smaller. So total revenue is going down, right? Or if you look at the quantity and price, the higher the price, the less the quantity. So there's a negative shape line here, right? If you set your price really high here, let's say, right? The quantity sold here, I'm sorry. If you set your price is really high, price really high, so there'll be fewer, smaller quantity you can sell, right? If you set the price lower, higher quantity can be sold, okay? That's your demand curve, okay? Also, the break-even point. What's the break-even point? Companies may consider, a break-even point. A break-even point, or a BEP, is the quantity of products sales at which revenue equals costs. In other words, when the profit is zero. Okay, when you have if you have a product to sell, right? If your quantity is low, you probably do not even make enough money to offset to pay your fixed costs. Then you'll be losing money in that case, right? Only if you sell a lot more, then you have enough money, enough revenue to cover your fixed costs and variable costs and have a profit, right? So between the larger sales versus smaller sales, there's a break-even point. At the break-even point, you just break even, meaning that your sales, your revenue is just enough to pay your cost. Okay? At that point, your profit is zero. That's why it's gonna break even. Okay? And you have to sell over that level to make more profit, to make profit. If you sell under that level, you're losing money. Your profit is negative. Okay? That's break-even point. Okay? The value for target customers. There are a variety of methods that determine the maximum price threshold for companies. I'm not going to do that. Okay. How do businesses determine the final price? How do companies make final price? Determine the final price. Okay. There are different price setting methods, different ways to set the price. Right? You can use demand-based price setting. You can use a cost-based setting. So you can set your price depending on the demand in the market. Right? Is there like huge demand for your product? Or not much demand for your product? Okay? You can set your price based on how much it costs you to make it. Okay? That costs a lot to make it, or not so much to make it. Or you can set your price based on competition. Is a competition. Okay. Your price setting based on demand, you can use price lining. Okay. You can use auction price, right? Auction law. Okay. You can use prestige pricing, image pricing, make it high price, so you can show a good image of your product. You can use skimming pricing. Skimming pricing, you know what skimming pricing is? If you ask your parents, they may, especially ask your mom, she may tell you that when in a store, for example, Taylor store, right? When there's a new fashion, new dress coming out, right? And they're gonna charge it very high, the price very high, right? Then again, the people who can afford it, who are willing to pay high price for a certain dress, they can to buy it, even though it's high. So that way the companies can skim the milk, like make a lot of money on that. And then after 3 months, maybe 6 months, when the fashion is not there anymore, it's out of fashion, they're gonna lower the price, right? Another way to set price is penetration price. What is penetration price? You set price low, set price very low to penetrate the market, so everyone can afford it. Okay? There's odd even price. Odd even price You heard about, you see the pricing, like six something something is the price label says $199.99. You see that? 199.99, right? That's called odd even pricing. Why do you call it use odd even pricing? It's actually you due to some people say it's psychological pricing. It's not really so actually. In the beginning, in old times, merchants, the merchants, retailers have a problem, had a problem. What is the problem they had? Employees who steal money from the cash register. Yeah. In order to prevent them from stealing money, the owner will set the price in an odd even price. Set the price instead of $200, they set at $199.99. Yeah, or not $199. Right? Because if it's 200 and customer pays 200, the employee may pocket the money. But if you set the price at $199, the employees has to open the cash register to give customer the change. That's why they set it that way. So this has this. It shows that the morality of humanity is going down. That's why they did that. Okay. And there's a cost-based pricing based on your cost. If it costs you this much money to make this product, okay, and you want at the top, plus some your profit, that's your cost. That's your price. You can set your target profit pricing. Okay, so you want maybe your profit to be 5%, 10%. Okay, you can set your price that way. Also, you can set your price based on your competition, above or below market price. Some companies want to say, I want my price to be just below the market price to attract people, customers, okay? Or I want to you set my price just higher than market because I have confidence I can gain customers even with a higher price because of my good service, for example. Okay? Then there's loss leader pricing. What's a loss leader pricing? You probably see this when you go shop for groceries. And if you look at the, let's say, Chinese newspapers, you have supermarkets, they're selling for like shrimps, for example, $2.99 a pound, right? And $2.99 a pound. That's good price. And you go, your mom and dad, you go there to shop your groceries. The shrimp is selling for $2.99 per pound. That's cheap. Right? Normally it would be like $4 or $5 a pound. Okay? The companies will label the price in that way in order to attract customers coming in. They knowing that the customers will definitely buy other items, even higher price items from them. So that's a loss leader pricing. So you can see that there are different ways to price your item, price your product. Okay? Pricing for strategic and tactics. Companies some use a dual market pricing. Yeah, creative products are usually sold on two markets, consumer versus business. Okay, for example, magazines, academic journals. Like academic journals that we have in our field, if I want to subscribe it, they offer me a very low price. If my university library wants to subscribe to it or buy it, you can charge a very high price. Okay, that's the dual market pricing. There's the bundle pricing. Bundle pricing. That's setting prices that correspond to a product. Be bundling is basically a bundle product is offered for less than the sum of each. Right? You put everything together, bundle and sell, and that's a total you charge. The price you set is less than every one of them, together added up. So give like a bundle discount. Okay. You can also use the price promotions, use the discounts, allowances, and free trials, premiums to sell your product, to price your product. price management over time, as time goes by, initially you can use skimming pricing or penetration pricing or experience curve pricing in the introduction stage. Okay, in the growth stage, you can use price as a tool for competitive positioning. Okay, in the maturity stage, you can use price to play a less prominent role. Okay, and then in products in the decline stage, price promotion is crucial. Okay, these accelerate the decline, paving the way for the introduction of a new product or maximizing financial returns on the outgoing product while lowering all the related costs. And we go with the sales promotions to phase out this new product, an old product that's in decline. Okay. Let's see the relationship between. I have to read that. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that for now. Okay, I think that's all I have for this lecture. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in the lecture. Okay, we have lots of materials that cover a lot of materials here. Okay. You guys okay? You can either get something to drink or stretch, or you're fine. Okay, very good. I'm gonna stop my sharing here. So Yu Yang can give her presentation. Okay, you're the host now, hostess now.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm presenting on Shakhtar Donetsk, and the creation of a new European football brand. So some context, Shakhtar was founded in 1936 with the name Shakhganovets after a miner, famous for his dedication to his job. In 1996, the sports club changed their president, who was willing to put in the investments to achieve his goal. Sorry?
Sorry, yeah, it's my phone. Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Who's willing to put in the investments to achieve his goal of having them compete at the same level as other great European clubs, both in play and management. So the investments concentrated on raising the technical skill and putting together a management team to make the most out of the investments. However, it was soon realized that they lacked the knowledge about the fan base and the image of the team among Ukrainian football fans, which was key information to create a new brand strategy. And here are some of the objectives that they decided to do market research on, which was conducted by the Miami Research Group. So some of it consisted of attitudes toward football among adult Ukrainians, distinctive attitudes towards football among people who consider themselves fans, behaviors, the image of the team and its competitors, the general opinion of the club's current brand elements, and their market potential. So the results came out to be pretty positive in general. The team was seen as having potential to grow, but many thought the logo, as shown here, was too boring, as certain aspects, such as the circular shape and the football in the center, was too traditional and predictable. Overall, it was admitted that the team had the prospects to grow, but it lacked a clear image, which was a necessity to their ambition as being the ambassador of Ukrainian football culture, to the rest of the world. And so they realized that not having a clear brand identity was the main reason why the team didn't have a distinctive positioning among football fans. So they turned to a consulting company to establish a new brand identity. The new brand identity, they came up with a mission, a vision, and values. So the mission is to be the team that identifies the boundaries and standards of excellence in football in Ukraine. Their vision was to be the ambassador of Ukrainian football in the world and of international football in Ukraine, promoting the culture of the sport in the country. And their values consist of youth, loyalty, determination, and knowledge. And to make the new brand identity easy to communicate, they came up with a new slogan, to build their new position called Beyond Boundaries. And they changed their brand, their name and their logo, which is the one shown on the slide here, after some careful consideration of what they wanted to portray the team as, which was mainly being recognizable and promote their vision as being the ambassador of Ukrainian football. New brand architecture. So they did a lot of sub-brands, which are specific activities that the club manages directly or partners with other organizations, like business partnerships. So they established a number of partnerships with businesses to promote brand awareness and reinforce new brand images. And they also did partnerships with other football clubs. They teamed up with AC Milan, Arsenal, and PSG to take part in a Europe-wide Indesit football talents with the aim of discovering tomorrow's young football stars. And the first question is, what were some components of the new brand identity that they changed?
You still remember? That's good.
They got a better logo.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's one of them.
Mm-hmm. This is Donetsk. Donetsk is actually the eastern part of Ukraine that where there's a war now, right?
Maybe
You
I'm not
realize
too sure
that?
about that.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, when I had taught this class last year, the war just started, and we didn't realize. Now I just realized, gee, Donetsk, that's where the war is really fighting hard over in eastern part of Ukraine, where Russian has occupied. There's a large percentage of Russian residents, Russian citizens in that Donetsk area, Donbass, Donetsk area. So that's interesting. Right? Also, the football, what they call football here is what we Americans call soccer, right?
Yeah.
It's a soccer they came home. Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
Did you change the logo also? I mean the taglines or the like added some new terms into their logos or
Uh, yeah,
I think
they changed
the
their name,
values, yeah. Uh-huh.
and they added values. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That the value wasn't, yeah.
So the second question, what key information or knowledge was the foundation for the strategy that they built?
The person they consulted.
um,
Good market consultant, market research kind of company. That's good.
I think there was also something that they did research on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did a market research project on that.
Yeah,
Right?
the market research on their fan base and among
Yeah,
sports fans.
good. They also identify the attitudes, the needs of those consumers, customers of theirs, Ukrainian people. Yeah.
And then the last question is more of an opinion question. So why do you think it's important to have a clear brand identity?
Right. This actually ties to my lecture today, about the branding, have brand name, right? You want to have a name that's clear, distinctive, aesthetic values, and also easy to memorize, as a striking different things, Let me tell you a story, just as Yu Yang is talking about this. Dasani water?
Yeah.
Dasani water? Yeah. Do you drink Dasani water? Yeah. And Dasani is part of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has this Dasani water, right? When Coca-Cola decided to launch a new product line, bottled water, right? They wanted to have a name, all right? They have a name. They didn't use the Coca-Cola water, but Coca-Cola is, we know, everyone knows is a cola, is a Coke product, is a, is cola product. So it shouldn't be for water, pure water. So they had to choose a name, right? Because Coca-Cola is such a large, worldwide company, major company in the world, they have to consider over 130, 40 countries they're in. They need to come up with a name for the water that has no negative or bad meaning in any language. And that's not easy. You think about it. You have your product in so many countries, and maybe in English it's a good name, but what if it's in Chinese it means something bad? You see what I'm saying? Now, what about in Japan? It means something negative also. Right? So they have to come up with a name that's not. They don't even think about the positive aspect. They just want to avoid the negative consequence. So in the end, they came up with the name Dasani. The Dasani name has no negative connotations none of all those 130 countries in the world. That's finally they chose this name. You see how challenging that is. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jan. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Does anyone else want to add anything?
Come on. Or maybe Yu Yang has something to add. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was basically just what you said today. Like it's easy to remember, and once something becomes easy to remember, it just kind of sticks around in your head.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what I had.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, very good. Let's give her a round of applause. Good job. Okay. And that's all you have, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Just remember that we have no class next week. So, enjoy spring break, and think about your individual topic, right? Individual project presentation, and also I need you to get together. You can find ways to connect with each other, and to finalize on your group project topic, right?
Actually,
Okay.
can we get people's phone numbers and we can make like a Telegram or Signal chat? Do you guys use Telegram?
Uh,
Signal?
yeah, I have Signal.
Signal, or do you have each other's cell phone? Maybe
Mm,
Cheney, can you take a leading
oh.
role? You get the numbers from everyone?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Could you guys just post it in the chat and I'll make a group on Signal?
Great.
And also, is Ian gonna be in it too? This,
Yeah. Oh yes.
do you
And
have his phone
he's
number? Does someone
missing.
have his phone number?
Yeah, he's missing.
I can check. I think I have.
I'll put my number in case you need to reach me or talk to me.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not
I
Allison,
see,
so Allison Joy.
I see, Justin, you put two numbers. Is one of those Ian's number? I think you're on mute, just by the way.
Justin, you're muted. Yeah.
I
Can you hear her, Justin? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
think the second one is Ian's number.
Okay,
The second number that he
take one. Yeah.
put. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you hear everyone? Okay, good. Now, when you get a talk, you don't have to talk to me. You don't have to get me involved. But if you have a question, can feel free to text me or call me. Right? Okay. Very good. Yeah. Do you have something to say, Justin? No? Okay. All right. Yeah. Enjoy your break. I'll see you 2 weeks from today. All right. Bye, everyone. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Bye. Mhm.